What's good, y'all? This your boy Blak G. Now, for this evening, I'm gonna go ahead and do a reaction to not a reaction, but it's gonna be part 2 of my reaction to blue chippers, wrestlers with huge potential. And before I get started, I give shout out to my homeboy Josh, aka King J Style, for doing his thing with the whole rap chat. He done post all the stats and everything on his Snapchat. So, hey, shout out to you for doing the numbers. Hope much luck for the whole music thing, you know. And plus you already know we had conversations about the quality of his music and everything else, which I might touch on in a later live stream. But let's get back to this reaction. Shout out to Jacoby for recommending this song to react, not recommending this video to react to it. I'm gonna complete the second half. Let's get to it. About 3, 2, 1.
Wrong. It's a lot easier to put on a good match when you have months to prepare and rehearse.
Yep.
Not as if he's Bret Hart or anything. But even with that said, what Logan has been able to achieve in such a short space of time is nothing short of amazing. After all, it takes two to tango, and the Ohio native has most certainly kept up the pace during his bouts against the likes of Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins.
Okay.
In fact, if you didn't know any differently, you'd think he'd been doing this his whole life. So it's scary to think where he'll be in his 10th or even his 20th match. Maybe he'll win some gold at some point, something which would no doubt piss off a lot of fans, but which wouldn't be anywhere near the catastrophe something like David Arquette's world title run was in 2000. Well, at this point, you could make a solid argument that he does a better buckshot lariat than Hangman Page, and that's the anxious millennial cowboy's own move. You could even argue that out of every celebrity to ever hit the ring, he's the one who's looked most like a real wrestler in the shortest space of time. But then given his history in the boxing ring, maybe none of this should have come as a surprise, because he's very clearly had plenty of athletic skill prior to ever signing a contract with WWE. And with him now realizing everyone wants to boo him and giving them what they want by turning heel, he seems primed to be a big player in New York for the foreseeable future. Someone who could end up overshadowing some of his more experienced co-workers.
Yeah.
That said, one person he'll have a hard time overshadowing completely is a man so good on the mic, he's able to overcome WWE's scripted promo style and sound like he's been picked straight out of the Attitude Era itself. Who are we talking about this time? Why, L.A. Knight.
L.A. Knight. Yeah. That's a cool name.
Now, let me talk to you for a second. If you're not on the LA Knight train by now, you need to get on it as soon as possible because this guy has the verbal skills to talk himself right into a main event spot before long. And sure, at 40 years old, he might not be the youngest guy out there anymore, but that shouldn't be a mark against someone who's got this much charisma. Yes, with the charm of a cult leader and the shoes of a champion, there's no reason this Maryland native shouldn't rise high up the card. After all, he can still go in the ring, and age has done nothing to dampen his skills on the mic. No, it's only strengthened them, in fact, which was exactly why, when he was saddled with the potential albatross of maximum male models upon his main roster debut, he managed to get it over and help it become one of the funniest gimmicks in wrestling today. And since then, he's only continued to excel with whatever he's been asked to do, whether that be by feuding with Bray Wyatt in early 2023, or by simply acting as a utility player who can be brought in to give someone a good match on SmackDown. So with him continuing to build up this trust with management and prove he's someone who can be relied upon, it feels like only a matter of time until they give him an angle he can really sink his teeth into.
Yeah.
Maybe one which will see him finally get to challenge for some gold. Of course, this wouldn't be the first time he's won gold, though, as while wrestling in both Impact and the NWA.
Wow, that is interesting. Someone that's of his age in his 40s is active like this and be able to have the skills on the mic like you described, as well as having the wrestling skills to back. That's something you don't see every day very often because most athletes are done in their 40s, but someone entering in, I'm sure he probably has some athletic skills in athletics way before getting in, of course. So definitely not just some couch potato, obviously. But that's not something you see every day, though.
One-time world champion, two-time tag team champion, and one-time TNA King of the Mountain champion.
Definitely inspiration, though. That it's never too late to do anything you set your mind to.
This should squash that right away. Really, then, WWE has no excuse to not just go with him, as fans clearly want it, and are ready to welcome him in with open arms.
Yeah.
The only question that remains is, will he ultimately get the push he's been waiting for, or will it instead go to someone else on the SmackDown roster, someone who came back to the company in 2022, and that's Karrion Kross. Now we know...
To let the
hate these damn
companies and their crazy high prices decide if your family is allowed to stay warm this
Yeah. Shut up. We all know this.
Now we know the former NXT champion's first run on the main roster back in 2021 didn't go so well. But since then, he's regained much of what made him stand out.
Oh, we got
in
a
the
hot.
first place.
Okay.
That's his entrance,
The little lady
his
looks
valet
kind of hot.
Bordeaux, and a distinct lack of budget demolition gear. And while you can't exactly say he's lit the world on fire since he returned to SmackDown in 2022, he's certainly in much better standing now than he was back then.
Oh.
And he absolutely has all the necessary skills required to be a top guy in any Vince McMahon or Triple H-led promotion. After all, he's got the size, something which is usually a prerequisite for a main eventer in New York. And he has a certain aura to him, especially whenever Scarlett is by his side playing a modern-day Sable. So really, all he needs then is a big win with which to hang his hat on, something he's already started working his way toward with feuds against the likes of Drew McIntyre and Rey Mysterio. And when he does finally reach that next level, the rest of the roster is going to have to prepare themselves to fall and pray at his feet, because if his inevitable future world title run on the main roster goes anything like his world title run down on the Black and Gold brand, he'll be a dominating force right up until the point he decides not to be. As it stands right now, however, it's just a case of waiting on management to make their move. A move they better make soon, because if they play their cards right with Kross, they could have a modern-day Batista-like figure on their hands. One who will definitely catch the eye of people who happen to be channel surfing on a Friday night. But the New York native isn't the only person who might grab the attention of casual fans switching through stations at the weekend, because over in the women's division on the Blue, another statuesque performer is filling a similar role, and that's Raquel Rodriguez.
Oh, I like that name too.
The WWE women's division has certainly lost a step or two since the glory days of the Four Horsewomen a few years back. That's not to say they haven't been hard at work at building new stars.
I'm sure they have.
And with the likes of Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley.
Oh yeah, Bianca Belair. She's hot
too. Turned to Rodriguez to see if she'll be the next person to step up. After all, she's got the exact kind of look the company wants in a top women's star. And she's already proven that she can go in the ring when push comes to shove. Hell, during her time in NXT,
she can throw hands too.
No one else was able to do when she ended the 304-day title reign of the mighty Io Shirai, and in the process became that brand's women's champion.
But
this wasn't
the check out her matches.
Native was doing down in developmental, as alongside Dakota Kai, she not only won the 2021 Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, but she also became a two-time women's tag team champion too. And once she joined the main roster soon thereafter, she'd repeat this feat by winning the women's tag team titles there on two separate occasions, once with Aaliyah and once with Liv Morgan. In fact, as of the time of this video's recording, her run with Morgan is currently ongoing. That said, we're sure she still has eyes on main roster singles success, and given her drive to be the best then, we wouldn't be surprised to see her go after either the aforementioned Belair or Ripley in the near future. Of course, when she does this, there's a very good chance she'll be able to win one, if not both of these belts, proving that her potential really is limitless. But then, we could really say the same about everyone we've discussed today, because between them all, they represent the very bright future of the world of professional wrestling.
Yep. Yeah, quite the eclectic list. A lot of people that did not expect to be on the roster such, as far as age, or even someone that's been absent and decided to make a comeback. That's also impressive too, because a lot of people seem to, because most people don't decide to return to a career once they're done with it. But hey, comeback, hey, miracles do happen. See comments. LA Knight winning the MITB would be a game changer. His run said whatever the fuck the holder would definitely regain all this momentum back. There's not one that deserves a bigger push than LA Knight this era. Montez all the tools on to be the world champion, be the face of the company. Hope they book him right. I'm sure they will. But yeah, that was Blue Chippers. Wrestlers with potential, huge potential that is, and based on what I've seen on this, good number of them definitely have what it takes to be that next superstar. So next superstar wrestling champion. So I just gotta keep my eyes out for them, and plus be sure to post any matches I can watch without getting like getting blocked, copyright stricken, whatever on YouTube. So if you want me to react to more of these, these documentaries, which are very good, by the way, post them in the comment section, or any other documentaries, songs, music videos, countdowns, movie clips, movie trailers, whatever the case may be. Post them in the comment sections. And if you want me to, and also not to mention, if you want to let me know what y'all plans for on New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, to bring it in to New Year's, which y'all plans for 2024. Post them in the comment section, or hit me up in the community tab, which I may post that same question. And be sure to follow me on social media accounts to be posted in the description box below. This your boy Blak G 92, about to sign off. Holla at your boy. Peace.